make sure nothing bad happens.
Making sure to just ward them up. But V5 being aggressive, pushing up, using the chem fog to their advantage, trying to get control of the area. 50 seconds of that dragon. Again, 2 in favor of V5. Secure that, they're on soul point, and it becomes so delicate then. Because anytime, it's like, even if you win a fight, if V5 secure the soul, they have it for the rest of the game. So you don't want them to get to 3.
Here we go.
See the package synced up with the dragon. We'll love to see it.
You're out of the bold corner there, Knight. You're no longer in there. So we will see Rich push in towards that top side. It's going to reset, come back in, and maybe have a stopwatch for this impending fight. Joe will take a little bit of poke, and they've got Photic and PP God off to the top side. Karsa taking a little bit of damage, and they know there is a package available. O-Team's posturing around this. This could be big for either side, and there's a TP coming in. It's going to be Rich on the back end of this, and he may look for a flank.
Yeah, watch what we can do with the package. It's super impactful, and the Corky poke as well. Rich is threatening the chem fog. Both top laners just chilling there. Let's see Photic move around. Photic's got a pretty big item advantage on Jackie Love. This Jinx is definitely an issue in this one. That top esports need to solve. Keep an eye on the package, on the cannon, and see what they can do.
2000 HP, Dragon resets, goes active to the pit. I don't think top esports are going to be able to take this. This should be soul point here for V5. They're going to try and maybe go in and steal. No, it's taken by the side of V5. It was secured. If the next fight can really go in, the slicing maelstrom hits nobody, and Zoom is all the way back out. Knight's been jumped on by the scissors of the of the Gwen as the Poppy goes down. It is a trade in favor of TES. They take 2 for 2 after the fight, but again, crucially, V5 on soul point.
Yeah, that's the important thing. They got the dragon. It doesn't really matter if you lose the fight that much, as long as they're not in a position to Baron, but they end up trading evenly. Critically, Knight's package, was on to Rich, and he ended up in melee range of him. He ends up actually winning out the fight because Zoom comes to help, but I mean, the takeaway from this is, initially, like I said, the package is a big point. Ends up going straight into the dragon pit, and it just doesn't really connect with anyone relevant, right? Rich ends up just fighting him 1v1. Right, we can see in this situation here. And meanwhile, Zoom gets locked up by PP God. So really excellent play to sway the 2 main tools of top esports. You see Rich nearly solo kills Knight. Does end up getting finished off the end. But the thing is, the job was done. The package and the Cannonal were the big tools for top esports. PP God completely interrupted Zoom's ult. And Knight just decided to package into a wall. I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it.
I mean, Knight's having a good game. He's 3-0-2, but there have been small moments where we've had to question. This is not the Knight from 2021 summer. This is not the Knight that was absolutely ridiculously dominant in every single matchup. No one could really go toe-to-toe with him, apart from Doinby, again, another fantastic mid laner that we have in our league. So definitely want to see him do a little bit more, be a little bit more impactful, but we come back onto the Rift. It is still only about 1,000 gold lead for top esports, but critically for V5, they have the soul point. They are 1 dragon away, potentially just over 3 minutes from getting that chem soul and doing to top esports what they did to them in the game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a big thing is that if top esports want to be winning fights, you want Kennen on a flank in these situations now.
Zoom. He's actually going to get jumped on, but PP God completely missed the hook. Doesn't get the aftershock. There's the keeper's verdict, though, as Karsa saves this play for V5. That was inspired from Karsa. Was able to isolate someone and trade it 1-for-1. Both supports dead.
Yeah, slams him in a wall. PP God makes a bit of an overstep, but the trailer support is completely fine. See things equalize in this situation. Now, Knight fishing for some poke here. But V5 can just back up. I mean, you're not really playing for anything at the moment other than contesting some vision control. You're 2.5 minutes from Dragon. Baron isn't really going to be on the cards, but it's just constant chem fog. You see people just sitting in it, waiting for anyone to forget and step forwards. It's so suffocating.
I mean, I suppose if you've watched Arcane, it should be suffocating. It is not a nice smell. And as I say that, Knight has no idea, has no clue that they've started up this Baron. Now has an idea as he uses the Strength Gift, but I think everyone's already committed. Look at that TP coming in now. They know exactly what's happening. Photic down to half HP. Moonlight Vigil comes in, and that's massive from Jackie Love. They kill off the Jinx, and that could be Baron now for top esports.
V5 overstep, and they get burned. No Photic makes it so hard to fight, and they're just backing off. They're giving up. I mean, Carson's got no flash. There's no way to get into the pit unless he runs round. Zoom is hovering on the edge, zoning. They're gonna look for something now.
They're gonna try and burst him down. They should be able to get him as well. So now it's a 4v4. Can you get into here? But they're gonna use the solar flare to stop out Carson from getting in here. He tries to get in, but he's not able to steal it. He will fall, and that's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade and the Baron in favor of Top Esports. One small mistake is all it takes. Top Esports capitalize and punish.
Yeah, ball play by V5. They see an opportunity to sneak the Baron, and that's the cost. It backfires. You end up not only giving over Photic's life, but Top Esports able to secure the back end. 4,000 gold lead, and the Baron now in hand. And the thing you have to ask is, why would you not just wait for Dragon, right? Dragon in a minute, but Top Esports now have a 4,000 gold lead, have Baron in hand. This sets them up to easily contest this Dragon in V5. You could have just waited for it, right? If you fight the 4th Dragon, Top Esports only secure the 2nd if they get it. You would have secured the soul. And I just feel like that was a massive overstep, a miscalculation, an unnecessary attempt to sneak the Baron. V5 are coming back on the map and trying to establish some control. They will get the Skull Crab, but it might be really difficult to fight this Dragon. The Baron on the other side, but actually, Knight travels forward, but it looks like Rookie's just going to back away.
Yeah, had no mana, wasn't really in a position to 100-0. I'm still waiting on his Chaos Storm as well to come back up. Knight should be able to get the package. 25 seconds until that Dragon spawns, and going to immediately TP in towards the bot side. Yeah, honestly, I think V5 got to back away. I don't think they can do much about this, and they're going to have to concede the fact that they're not going to get the soul point just yet.
And that's the thing, right? You forcing that Baron was just unnecessary, and I guess one of the thought processes is, right, okay, they don't have package available because package is synced with Dragon, so maybe that was the thought process of they could try and force objective when package isn't up. But either way, this is going to get secured.
Oh, okay, it was very close, and then we can see the solar flare being used. Flash has to be invested by Karsa to get himself out to safety. They will take the time now while everyone from the side of V5 is mid to take this turret in bot lanes, so that's going to be a trade, and you can see already pings going on towards that top side to try and defend it for V5.
Look how strong Knight is, right? 3 items plus the Hex Drinker. He is doing an insane amount of damage. A big one is just an absolute chunk any squishy, and that's the problem, right? Is that we end up with this Poppy in the jungle. Poppy is never going to threaten a Corki, right? Unless you're somehow in melee range of him and he tries to Valkyrie when you press W, you really are not going to pose a threat to this Corki. It's only really PP God, or if Photic kind of gets in range to hit you and can't hit back. But this is the poke Corki, right? You can just fire rockets from 18 screens away and there's no real recourse.
Yeah, Jinx gets 1 rocket, you get 1,000,000 of them, and you do roughly the same amount of damage. So.
No, not even. Knight does more damage,
yeah,
right?
True,
Jinx
true.
does more than on low HP, right? It's so disturbing.
It is a little bit of an unfortunate setup as a tier 2 and that mid lane is taken down by Top Esports. Again, still 4,500 gold ahead in this game. V5 starts to try and ramp themselves up. They have got 3.5 items onto the Jinx. They are looking very good, and the top wave push will get them traded equally enough in terms of the turrets that were taken on either side. This is just becoming another very, very close game. It does become a little bit more about execution and how these two team fights go for it. I need to see Rich doing what he did around that Dragon fight, the third Drake for V5, where he was able to get the kill. But now Zoom has Flash, has Slicing Maelstrom, will possibly be able to... Oh my God!
Oh my Lord, what is this?
Lordy! There's so much. Now PP God's going to find Xiaopeng, and he knows that he has the support. Crescent Guard has to be invested. There is no real objective to take, but a good response here from V5.
Yeah, I mean, they got a big goal, but as you said, no objective to take. They will try and establish some vision control in the Chem Fog area. They want to set up very early for the Baron spawning in 2 minutes. But, you know, Zoom didn't burn Flash or Slicing Maelstrom. He knew there was literally no point. He's dead. Just let it go. Don't burn anything. And then as a result, there's not a massive amount to be gained for V5. They are going to try and push this wave in, but they should just be able to clear it out on the side of Top Esports. And there's no real threat of a dive. So, at the end of the day, not much gained.
Not much gain. They do get a little bit of gold, as you mentioned there as well. Then bring the gold lead just a little bit closer to each other. Does mean that the extra kill goes on to Rich. And this Gwen is starting to get to one-shot territory. There's not really a lot of people on the side of Top Esports that can deal with this Gwen, as you just saw there, despite being effectively a full item ahead of Rich. The Kennen didn't do a lot and couldn't do a lot against what was eventually going to be the impending doom.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that, you know, Gwen scales so well into the side lane, but the thing is, like, Zoom is going to be relevant in team fights, and the critical thing is finding the opportunities to execute on that. See, getting deep wards established is really important so that you can find those TP flanks. If he ends up, you know, flashing onto Rookie and Photic sort of from behind, it's just going to be impossible for V5 to team fight. So I'm looking out for that. Also looking out to see what Rich can do in this next fight, but mainly it's just Knight on this Corki doing an insane amount of damage, laying down the poke early. I think the critical thing whenever it comes to these fights, if you can poke someone out beforehand, makes things extremely difficult.
It's very, very difficult, and you can see now with the Chem Fog, V5 still roaming around, seeing if they can catch someone out in that donut of invisibility they have. Karsa is there. Maybe they're going to catch out Zhuo. Yep, he's going to get right on top of him, and he's going to be able to pop down a little bit of CC. Solar Flare comes out. They're actually going to trade it, though. Jungle for support. I don't think that's worth it for you on the side of V5.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like losing Karsa is the big deal. That being said, it means they lose the vision element of having the support, right? No wards to place down, but Beastbox are feeling confident it's going to push up mid. But in the meantime, Doom is not having a fun time in this matchup.
That's putting it lightly, I think, is the nice way to put it.
Is the guys going to team fight yet? Please, yeah. Anyone?
I suppose that is the one thing that V5, despite, you know, trading a jungler for support, like you said, the vision, it means that top esports are not going to go for a team fight just yet. They're going to wait until that big AoE CC is available so they can make sure that if someone does jump onto Knight or on top of Jackie Love, they can protect them with the Leona. So it delays the team fight just that little bit more. Zonya's now picked up for Rich and for Rookie. They have a little bit more survivability. We're almost back to a 5-item or 6-item Photic. He's got himself a stopwatch, so he's a full item and a stopwatch ahead of his counterpart Jackie Love. And Knight's got himself a package. 25 seconds till Dragon.
Really critical thing Top Esports did there was they secured the scuttle by the Baron to make sure, because obviously they didn't have their support there to lay down wards. You saw PP got head over and placed a ward down. They have vision off the Baron. No one's going to sneak it here. And now they can focus on the real objective, which is this Dragon. Look at the poke from Knight. This is the critical thing. What can he do with the package? What can he do with the poke? And also zoom. This man has so much power in his little electric rat hand.
His little Pikachu hands. He's see a solar flare coming out, and that forces the flash away from PP God. He's not going to have that engaged. Whoa, PP God will clash heads as they look to try and maybe just trade back a little bit of damage. Now Rich off to the side, seeing if he makes something work. Package has been used as the Chaos Storm as well. They go in. That's the Dragon secured there by Top Esports. But now, can they get themselves out? We're going to see the flash in, the slicing Maelstrom, not really onto the carries, and that's going to be a good fight now for the side of V5. They take away the Aphelios. They're going to try and take away even more of these lives. And yes, you get yourself onto Soul Point to Top Esports, but you're going to lose the Baron.
They commit hard onto the Dragon and they end up corralled in the pit. It's a perfect setup for a composition that has the Jinx, the Victor, has the Gwen who's onto the back line. Top Esports couldn't find a way to approach, and as a result, they get trapped in. Oh, TP coming in.
They're baiting this one. They know that they haven't got everyone there, though, because like you said, the scuttle was taken. As I say that, Knight! He gets gravity fielded down, but no, he's able to get the Valkyrie off just in case, and now he can start using rockets free firing on the side. Xiao Peng, however, is not going to have that same luxury. Rookie will clean him up, but the Jinx is excited. Photic picking up a massive shutdown, and that all but secures the Baron and brings them back up level in gold.
They knew they couldn't take it with Xiao Peng around, potentially threatening the smite. They know that Knight's poke was too severe for them to chance it, so they have to go for the pick. Beautiful play from PP God and Rookie. Great heads up to defend. And we're going to replay of the fight. So first off, Knight obviously gets his package forced by a combination of the poke from Photic and Rookie. He knows if he stays after the zap hits him, he's just going to get bursted. Does get out in time, but watch. They all move into the pit to secure the Dragon. And then they end up being trapped here. Like Knight Valkyries, before he gets over the walls, just to flash away. The Kettle comes in, but this good CC from PP God means it never really hits the back line, and everyone is trapped in the pit. Easy cleanup for the side of V5. Top Esports prioritized the Dragon, and they got it, right? But that's kind of the thing. When you're at this point where V5 have had Soul Point for such a long time, Top Esports have to prioritize the Dragon, and it sometimes will cost you the team fight.
Cost you the team fight the first time in this game. We see V5 again with a gold lead. A very, very similar situation, almost identical to what we saw in game one. Both teams on Soul Point. This time around, though, I will say a triple Chem Soul stack or Chem Dragon stack is massive. It's actually a really big deal. Having that extra little bit of HP shred on people like the Poppy, like the Nautilus, can be huge for something like a Corki and an Aphelios. So should be relevant regardless of what way you cut it. And now both teams seeing if they can make an advantage happen for them. With the vision available now for V5, they're pushing forward, making sure that they can get all these waves pushing in as fast as they can. But this fantastic wave clear available to the side of Top Esports. It'll be very difficult to actually kill off these turrets.
That's the problematic thing is it's like Knight either hits the wave, right, or he hits you, and either way you're not going to be able to push after that. Yeah, or both. The AoE is pretty big. 4 items now, has the Void Staff for that extra pen. Just needs to finish off his last item, but Knight is still doing an insane amount of damage. As you said, the Chemtech Dragon, sorry, facilitating that, but knock away. Knight's knocked away. He's the wave player.
Massive keeper's verdict. Massive keeper's verdict. That's what the Poppy does, and just able to push them forward. You can see now these health bars are a little bit lower. They can't actually continue onto it, so they're going to rotate in towards the mid lane and just try and take this tower as well. Massive big brain move there from Karsa. Huge hammer to make sure they get 2 inhibitors from it, from that one play.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, Karsa and PP God can just soak the rockets, right? Karsa is actually pretty tanky at this point. He's fine tanking up. He doesn't care if he gets low. Allows him to take both of those. Both inhibs down pretty huge. And with Dragon Soul in a minute 30, remember, both teams are 3. This is guaranteed Dragon Soul. It really all comes down to this. And the thing is, we said about how prioritize the Dragon cost Top Esports that last fight. If Top Esports prioritize the Dragon again and lose the fight, they just lose the game, right? Double inhibs down, it's just over. Even if there's only like a couple of members of V5 alive, they will easily end with super minions pushing into the base. So it becomes very precarious. Things are stacked in favor of V5, but we'll see how they end up panning out. No doubt we'll have Knight recalling pretty soon, pick up his package. V5 are in the area first. They're starting to establish the vision, and it's so important when you're against a Corki. Try and have vision superiority. Oh, the recall
huge!
Stop.
They got the recall to stop, and then they can push forward. Drone's been caught out, and he has to flash away. They get the dredge line out, and of course the ultimate as well from the depths of PP God. But now everyone's been kind of delayed. Knight will eventually get his package and should be able to get back out onto the map. Doesn't have TP just yet, so he's going to try and run it back. We now have super minions come in. Knight's in a lot of trouble, but he doesn't get caught out. Zoom does back away as well. Look at that damage coming out from one rocket. AoE'd over on top of V5. Bot wave is pushing, and you do not have a TP there for the side of V5, so they may look to try and just run towards that if they can't take this fight.
Definitely can play on the edge. But you can see Top Esports are prioritizing the Dragon once again. Rookie and Rich will back away. They could try and rush for it now, but they don't have any TPs available. I think they're going to commit to the fight.
Have to commit to the fight. The Dragon has been started. It's going to take down so quickly. Xiaopeng uses his Crescent Guard to try and keep himself alive. The package goes in. Secured by V5. Zoom goes in with his own slicing. Maelstrom to try and turn this one around. But there's a Chem Soul, my friend. Top Esports are going to have to kill you again and again and again. And they just can't. There's a Felios is trying his very best with his GA. But you are going down. V5 get the Chem Soul. V5 take the fight. And V5 will be sending us to a Game 3.
And you can see the damage at the bottom. 5.4k by Rookie. An absolute statement. Decimate on that one. And Photic was there for the clear. They have the minions at base already. TP's going to come in. V5 taking this to a Game 3.
I am so happy to be here right now. Game 3 coming up between these two absolute giants. And we get the series we deserve. And at the end of it all, I think we can all very comfortably say in both these games, the MVP has been the Chem Soul.
Oh, I mean, it puts so much pressure on the teams to contest it. It puts so much pressure on the teams to prioritize it, and it just becomes so impactful when it's delivered. Hard to say how that fight would have managed if they hadn't been able to secure the Chem Soul, but either way, V5 came in with a convincing one there. And there were moments, right, in that game where it looked like they could have thrown it away a little bit. Knight definitely started to become super fed, but the decision-making around the Baron was crisp, and I feel like they were just edging above. When that first one was like this long back and forth, as soon as V5 got that Baron, they just made so much work happen with it.
Yeah, I think the big thing we obviously talk about as well is that very clutch smite coming out from Karsa. Huge in the context of it, because the start of that fight is a couple of members of Top Esports, excuse me, V5 getting killed. We did see Karsa go down, and you can see that again, very similar trajectory in the gold what we saw in game 1, where it starts off great for Top Esports and then they just slowly start to lose control of the game.
Yep, definitely felt like later on it started becoming problematic, and it's just some interesting decisions, right, that I didn't necessarily agree with. I mean, I think V5, honestly, in terms of the Dragon stacking, the Baron play was a really messy one, but either way, they managed to secure it. They managed to come through in the end, and it really came down to Photic once again on this Jinx. Rookie really delivering in so much damage in these team fights, and Rich on the Gwen being a lot more present than that game 1. But I'd say, you know, we talked a lot. I was going into all these fights, I was like, package, slicing Maelstrom, package, slicing Maelstrom, package, slicing Maelstrom. Other than that one where he flashed in mid pretty early in the game, I don't think we had any really significant slicing Maelstroms, right? I'm talking about the TP flank setup. I'm talking about getting on the back line. Didn't see it, right? And I think if you're going to pick the Kennen in that situation, enemy team has a Gwen, you have to do something with your Kennen to make it worth letting them have Gwen.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing that we got to talk about is that similar to game one where the Akali didn't have much impact for Rich, again, apart from that Nexus defense, the Kennen didn't really have the same impact. So top lane is slowly becoming more pivotal for both of these teams. We are going to throw it to a break. Get yourself some water, some snack, give yourself some fresh air, and be back here in about 5 minutes because we are going to be having the third and final game of the series to decide who is going to come out on top. You won't want to miss it.
苏北勾勒出情话，笔锋浓转淡，平生描绘的牡丹，一如你梳妆，冉冉檀香透过窗，心事我了然，宣纸上走笔至此各一半，釉色渲染仕女图，韵味别私藏，和你嫣然的一笑如含苞待放，你的美一缕飘散，去到我去不了的地方。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。炊烟袅袅升起，隔江千万里。在平地树根里放前朝的飘逸，就当我为遇见你伏笔。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。月色被打捞起，晕开了结局。 想渡过窗，心事我了然，宣纸上走笔只字各一半。有色渲染是旅途，韵味被私藏，而你嫣然的一笑如含苞待放，你的美一缕飘散，去到我去不了的地方。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。炊烟袅袅升起，隔江千万里，在平地树根里放前朝的飘逸，就当我为遇见你伏笔。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。月色被打捞起，晕开了结局，如传世的青花瓷，自顾自美丽，你眼的笑意。色白花青的锦衣，跃然于万地，临摹松贴，落款时却惦记着你。你隐藏在窑烧里千年的秘密，气息里犹如绣花针落地。帘外芭蕉惹骤雨，梦幻惹铜绿。我路过那江南小镇的等你，在泼墨山水画里，你从墨色深处被隐去。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。炊烟袅袅升起，隔江千万里，在平地树根里放前朝的飘逸，就当我为遇见你伏笔。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。月色被打捞起，晕开了结局，如传世的青花瓷，自顾自美丽，你眼的笑意。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。
这个赛季我个人的目标的话，还是就继续拿好成绩嘛，就是冠军嘛。但是我们毕竟是刚就是重组没多久，所以我们需要磨合一段时间。但是还是有希望吧，就加油吧。
Winning mindset, get those dubs. That's all you need to do. Again, we come back time and time again to your sage advice of just beat them. Just be better. That's all you need to do.
It's that simple. It's that I laid it out. Kill the Nexus, right? Top Esports illustrate that beautifully in game 1, not so much in game 2. And also, you know, this is wild, but the teams who have got the Chemtech Soul have won every game this series. Who'd have thought,
Mad.
right?
Madness. Madness.
Almost like it's pretty powerful, and also Soul in general, it's pretty good.
You're not wrong there. And you know what else was very powerful in that game? Photic on this Jinx is the MVP. Wouldn't have been my personal choice. I think Karsa with the clutch saves and the clutch plays would have been my personal choice of it. But Photic, nevertheless, played a fantastic game, got ahead of the Jinx, or got ahead of his opposition number and Jackie Love, and never let it go.
100%. And he was so instrumental in the team fights, consistently laying down that damage, getting the resets, and just wasn't threatened, right? We talked about how Zoom wasn't finding the big cannon engages, how the Pope wasn't really landing on the right targets, but you have to credit the other side of that as well, right? It's not just crediting saying, oh, okay, Top Esports could have done better, but also V5 were making sure that Photic was consistently able to layer damage down.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. And you can see just in these fights with Rookie and Photic being able to put themselves ahead and keep themselves in relevancy and getting excited here. Look at the distance between him and Knight, and then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, instantly brought back, flash forward, I can get the kill here. Very good killer instinct, and this is the last fight here where, again, great smite from Karsa and Rich doing his job to keep the Corki away from everybody, and it just meant that that was basically it.
100%. And the smite was a critical thing. I still wonder, like, scoping it out, would they have still won the fight even if the enemy team had got Chemtech Soul? It's hard to say because it does change things so drastically, but either way, V5, a little bit shaky at times, a little bit shaky on the Baron play, but they managed to finally close it out. And I just love how they got 3 dragons, and then the enemy team gets 3 in a row, and then they get that final one.
It was shaky.
Final one
it was
headship.
shaky. But big thing that we're going to see in this pick and ban, as I was just about to mention it, I see it's already banned. The Victor has been pivotal for both Knight and, of course, for Rookie. Banning it away on top esports side. I like seeing that. And V5 now, they've got an opportunity to free something up in the draft. Look to see if they can prioritize one of those big carries to make sure that this works for them. And actually, they're going to ban away the Gwen themselves.
Yeah, realizing that some of these champions are just a bit too powerful to leave open, it does obviously leave other things. The Jarvan is something that has been banned across the series that is now available. Also, the Lee Sin is something that's banned across the series that's now available. We'll see if they end up actually banning those out. Because top esports could go either, and they end up actually going for the Gragas instead. Something that Rich has had good games on. Has been like a staple sort of in this first series to mitigate pressure. But it looks like V5, we talked about the importance of the Thresh, the value of it with these mobile lady carries, and they are going to lock that in as a first pick. I'm honestly going to say, a little bit surprised not to see the Corki, given how sort of high priority that is, but it makes sense, right? Jarvan open, Thresh is the answer to sort of fix the problem that is the Cataclysm.
Yeah, and I think as well as, you know, you see the two MVPs from Game 1 and Game 2 was Photic and Jackie Love, the priority that they need to be given by their supports, the safety they need. And even in that last game, the Nautilus rather than the Thresh, Photic felt very subdued to walk forward on the Jinx. Didn't look as confident as we saw him in Game 1 because he didn't have the extra safety. This time around, we're almost certainly going to see the reverse of the matchup. This time, Jackie Love going to be taking the Jinx. Almost certainly going to see Aphelios there for Photic, and maybe Carson to the Lee Sin. Okay, I like this. Finally left open. They know the Jarvan's there. They've got a good bit of engage and disengage.
Yeah, and we get the Aphelios Thresh combo. Really prominent. I've actually get to see it because often, you know, you pick the Aphelios, they take away the Thresh, but so good at providing that safety net. Wouldn't surprise to see the Nautilus come out. Often see it picked into the Thresh. Obviously poses that threat into the Aphelios as well in the short range, but a lot of picks left open, right? The two junglers we've seen banned for this entire series. This is the trade-off. You start shifting your bans from these things you've had and locked away the entire series to other areas. Does give that area priority. Now we see top esports banning away the Syndra. This could suggest like a Corki pick on the next rotation. You're banning away picks that could potentially threaten in the early levels. You know, could be Syndra, could be Orianna, could be Vex. On the other side for V5, maybe you do ban the Corki yourself. Maybe you look at top laners like the Jace, things that you don't want Zoom to have with a potential counter pick.
Honestly, I think you gotta ban away the Corki. It's such a powerful pick, and even though Knight had a pretty solid kill score, he didn't have the most impact on that Corki, but still doing massive damage nonetheless. And you don't have an option to go with the Gwen this time around on Rich, so you won't be able to have that pseudo bruiser assassin coming in on top of you. And now we see the Azir, the Syndra, the Tryndamere banned away, these big scaling picks being all taken away. You've got to ban away the Corki, my dudes. I don't think you can let it through.
Surely it's the Corki, unless they have something prepped, something planned, but I would have thought we'd have seen that by now. I think it probably, in my mind, I can't think of anything else that I would prioritize higher than banning that one away, especially with so many mid lane bans already coming out. Like, think of all the things you'd pick into the Corki, a lot of them already taken away. Yes, we see the Corki ban. And now Knight is going to blind the Zoe, so he feels confident with everything taken off the cards. He feels pretty comfortable picking the Zoe in this scenario, something that's going to have some solid lane pressure. We'll see what Rookie answers with. The TF is something left open and available that we saw being banned away in Game 1 in the second rotation. The Vex is also there, right? When we talk about those sort of aggressive mid laners who have that pressure, he's going to go for the Orianna instead, valuing strong team fighting, a bit of extra protection for Photic. And then for Rich, Graves is one of the blinds we've seen have success on this patch, right? Pretty comfortable to picking anything and scale up. On the other side, Zoom, you could pick the Jace in this situation. Would be completely fine. See that in a lot of scenarios. Could also go towards something like the Camille. It really comes down to what the team wants to sort of round out the composition with. But I think, yeah, to me, the Jace is the thing that kind of stands out.
Yeah, especially when you're comboing it with something like the Zoe, that extra poke damage, the ability to keep your enemy at arm's reach at all times, especially something like a Graves and an Orianna that have to be naturally quite close, and even the Aphelios just does a lot for your composition. Top esports, lock and load that one. They're going to take that one into the Graves. We have seen this matchup time and time again. And just a little fun fact, this will be Knight's 50th game on the Zoe. He is currently 35-14 with 49 games played. We'll see if he's able to make that 36 or if it'll be 15. Either way as such, but big moment here for both these mid laners. Both these guys very comfortable on their two champions. And again, you know, we mentioned a million times, we're actually getting the reverse of that bot lane. The Aphelios now for Photic with Jackie Love on the Jinx. We have started to see a trend where the Jinx does seem to be more favored in these matchups. Seems to be, with those resets, getting a little bit more favor as we go later and later into the season.
And I think it's the range as well, right? Jinx outranges, Aphelios becomes relevant in the team fights, but also, like, look at the composition as a whole. You have Zoe, you have Jace. These are long-range threats that can poke you from a distance. And the thing with the composition coming out from V5 is they don't really have that great tools to engage, right? And they don't really have long-range options. Your best engage is Lee Sin going for an insect, or someone walking on an Orianna ball, or Thresh landing a hook. Those are not like these strong engage tools like the Jarvan and Cataclysm. So in my mind, what we're going to see in team fights is top esports, they layer the poke down, and then when things are just right, that's when they have the Cataclysm card. That's when Joe can dive in and Jackie Love can start getting the reset. So honestly, I think V5 need to come out the gate swinging. I want to see what Caster can do on wait, is it flipped? I've just realized it has V5 on the left and then it says Caster, and then
Yeah, I think it's.
no, wait, I'm getting, dude. It has been too long a day. I'm losing my mind.
You've had a long day. Not as long as Lyric though. Gotta call you out on that.
I'm just gonna take a moment. I'm losing my mind, but it's cool, right? It's been a long day. V5 Caster,
cool?
yes.
Is
V5
it cool?
Caster, yes. Lee Sin. I want to see Caster have a strong early game. I want to see Caster be proactive, make things happen.
We will see. We are jumping onto the rift for the final time today. It is the third game in this best of 3. Both V5 and Top Esports with 1 apiece. And both these teams have been critical at getting their wins through that Chem Soul. And guess what? The first Dragon's Infernal. So we're already hitting 1 out of the way for 5 more potentially for that Chem Soul.
You know, it's literally, I saw Caster and I was like, why is Caster on V5? He's in Top Esports.
I did notice, yeah. I needed you to get there yourself, though. Your brain needed to process it.
I was just like, why? Wait, why did I think Caster? Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
okay.
he did move.
we made it, okay? We made it. We made it. We got there in the end.
I could hear the gears turning in your head as you tried to
hear that crunching noise. Yeah, that was it. Oh, we got there, though. We did it, okay? But yeah, I think Top Esports, I think I favor that comp in this one, right? I think they have the long range tools. I think they still have early aggression on the composition. So I really need to see Caster pop off on this Lee Sin and see what he can do to make things happen. And right now, this is nearly invade. He's already lost his red buff. That's not a good start, right? In terms of start
for what you want to see, no, it's not.
Okay, step 1 was a failure. On to step 2.
Well, all it does is recognize the Top Esports. Also believe that if Lee Sin's able to get a good early start, it's going to be a little bit unfortunate. He actually misses out on 1 Raptor, so you can see already he's just going to try and clear out his entire bot side of the jungle, while Xiaopeng maybe thought about going for an early gank. As we see there's the dredge line. We're going to see damage mitigation for both the AD carries, as both supports this time around going with that glacial augment, as neither is taking aftershots, so they're going to be deceptively squishy the later this game goes on.
Absolutely. I do love the glacial augment, the extra engage potential, particularly into a Thresh. If he does play you like away, the slow means you can follow up. But you can see Jackie Love and Joe, they already got the advantage in the lane. All is pretty good at applying that pressure level 1. They will get the priority and put some poke down onto the other side.
Now for Top Esports, you said you wanted to see the early engages coming out from Karsa. You do, however, have to be aware of that Jarvan. Jarvan very, very strong in that level 1 to 6 mark, just having the option of a pretty hard and pretty devastating, CC. And as I say that, level 3, gonna look towards this bot side. They may look just to try and go for the dive. This is risky, as we always talk about the teleport changes. Now we're gonna see them fully engage on top of it with great flash from Photic. It's all a disaster now, as Photic keeps himself alive. It's a 1 for 2, and PP God gets the double!
Oh man, you love to see it. It's so risky diving a Thresh, and actually Jackie Love is like, yeah, I'll take those double buffs, please, thank you. Does end up just walking it off. But yeah, I mean, all the summoners are available for Photic. If they'd burnt his flash before that play, I would feel like, yeah, 100% go for this. But like, it's never gonna work, because you flash in with the auto, the flag and drag gets flayed, but even if it didn't, Photic flashed out anyway. But it means that Xiaopeng might have gone for the flag and drag flash to follow him. The flay meant there was no chance. And then obviously they end up getting the 2 kills. Yes, we still see Photic being behind in gold compared to Jackie Love marginally. He missed the CS. He also didn't get the kill, got the assist. But that is still just not an ideal play. A lot of summoners been on the side of Top Esports. And now PP God has already got the Moby boots, right? We talk about gold not being as useful on supports. But honestly, early Moby boots are so impactful. There's actually an argument that getting that golden support can even I'm not gonna say always, but can actually be more valuable, right? If Photic gets extra items that helps you in the 2v2, that helps you sort of scale, but if PP God gets those Moby Boots, he can just move around the map at will.
I mean, I know, you know, we're gonna stop talking about this play right now, but I still think that the way PP God played that dive, flaying away the Jarvan from the flag and drag, getting the hook, burning the cleanse off of Jackie Love, so he was just not putting down auto attack damage for those brief moments. He kind of deserves it, to be perfectly honest. All Photic really did was flash, whereas PP God literally kept him alive for as long as he physically could. It was a great play.
PP God's now got more gold than Photic. We should enjoy this while we can, right? He's the carry.
Let's
start taking the farm.
Don't let your memes be dreams, you know, or your dreams be memes. I messed that up. I only had one way to mess it up, and I messed it up in failure. But coming back into the game, we are going to see V5 now using that priority. You can see PP God trying to see if he can maybe go fishing for something. Has got the lantern available to him. Still has flash as well. So if they look to flash hook Jackie Love or even Zhuo, they may get something going for them. Xiaopeng, however, is in the vicinity. So Jarvan's still very, very powerful. It is a long sword versus a pickaxe in that jungle matchup. So you got to be very aware of that. And Dragon is live, so we'll see now what they want to go for. PP God edging forward. Again, Zhou is very, very squishy. Does not have aftershock. Yeah, and no summoners. So not going to go for it just yet. Karsa still looking around, seeing if he can find something. Is going to be able to not steal away that camp, but will put down a hell of a lot of punishment onto Xiaopeng. Even has a lantern there available to him should he need it. But no, PP God says, I'm the carry now. I'm going to use it to get rid of the Blast Cone.
The big thing for me is I feel like PP God with the Moby Boots now, he can move around, he can pair up with Karsa. That's what I want to see happen, right? Karsa recovered from that red invade, managed to catch up in terms of farm because obviously Xiaopeng went for that failed dive. And now I want to see when the windows arise, PP God move, pair up with Karsa, make that happen. But for now, looks like they might be targeting bot lane, right? No summoners on Nautilus. PP God can flash play and lantern Karsa in.
Yeah, they're going to look for it as well. They're waiting for those one little move forward. There's going to be the Gravitum coming out. Catches them all out. Forces the flash out of Jackie Love. And yep, nowhere for you to go, Nautilus. Donate that one over to the PP God. You thought it was for you, Aphelios, but it was all a bait. And now we can see the top lanes flashing away from each other. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're talking about the true carry of V5. PP God 3-0.
Man, he was trying to leave as well, the Ignite. Like I said about the Moby Boots being a valuable pickup. Oh, maybe see Knight in a bit of trouble.
He's getting auto-attacked around. The extra Clockwork passive's going to force a summoner out. That is going to be the heal from Knight. He had summoner spell book, so not quite able to get taken down. But this is going to be Drake now over to V5.
I talked about the value of like the early Moby Boots. That's why like the early gold can be good. It's not good after that. At that point, you really wanted your 80k.
No, keep going. Get more. Why would Aphelios need items? You know, I'm a Thresh coming in on top of this. So
Drew actually finding a roam. Oh my god, you're so doomed.
He's so dead. No flash. No real way to get out of this. He's going to be able to use his dash. Going to try and get some damage traded back. Will actually bring them down fairly low, but great roam there from Zhuo means that they're able to get themselves an answer back in topside.
And this is actually something I remember the replay the clips we had at the start of the show when we were talking about the series. I remember there was like a flipped version of that, but it was the same thing where Zhuo came top around this level, set up an easy gank. It's a pretty common play in his book, so nice to see that. I mean, the fact that the enemy support has Moby Boots already and you're out roaming him is you know, pretty solid from you.
Why would you roam if you're PP God? You're looking for kills in the lane.
He has to farm the CS as well.
Yeah.
You're right.
He's got to be there for the XP, man. Come on. You use your head. Think, Fox. Think.
I'm not thinking.
I think we can allow you to not. You've had a long day. It's this will be your seventh game
thinking League.
now.
I'm thinking all about League. And honestly, I feel like top esports, you know, I have confidence in their sort of scaling poke in the later stages, but V5 has managed to find advantages and will continue to push them. See? And again, the Lantern's just so valuable, right? It just allows you to play in such a different manner, having that available. It really warps the game in terms of limiting the enemies engaged. Now, they are contesting this blue, and they all just take it, right? Xiaopeng's just there to watch. Like, go for some poke, and we'll land the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, but there's no follow-up. And V5, I like the play. Go and shut down that blue. And actually, noticeably, Knight has very little mana. So, pretty big punish on him.
They thought about it. He thought if he got lazy and tried to go towards that mid lane, he definitely would have at minimum burnt his flash. But Decides the better of it, goes the long way around, keeps himself nice and safe as we come up into about the 9 minutes, just under 10 minutes in the game. It is 1,000 gold advantage for V5. It's the first time we've ever really seen them with a decent advantage. I will argue that 1,000 gold is very presently on top of the Thresh, basically all of it, as he's on 2,900 gold versus the 2,100 of the Nautilus, but nevertheless, it is still an advantage that they can work with. And you can see now PP God just trying to make this roam work for him. The Demacian standard, though, great for catching out those little bits of vision, but Riptile going to be started. This is good from Karsa. He's getting out onto the map. You said you wanted to see early plays. Fair enough, it hasn't been the kills, but it has been the objectives.
Yeah, I want to see him proactive, but we are seeing a TP come in. It looks like they may try and contest this one.
They're gonna go for it, but where are you going, Zhuo? Again, you are getting caught out. Great hook, and that's Lee Sin picking up a kill. So now Rifty is getting taken very, very low. They're gonna try and go in on top of PP God, but he's just a little bit too tanky. The Jarvan is dead. Zoom trying his very best. The PP God has fallen. They are turning this one around. Look at Jackie Love. He's trying to get the resets. He'll get one more, but just as he does, he dies. And that's gonna be a trade of the 80 carries lives. Double kill for double kill. It's still the Rift Herald and the fight equals, so V5 will still be happy.
I mean, it's actually an edge for V5, right? They killed 4 and kept 2 alive. It's just Joe respawned. That's how quickly he died, right? He's back on the map. V5 get the Herald and they get favored in terms of kills, so they can be happy with that. And I think Top Esports, you already lost one of your members, right? Xiaopeng gets this huge cataclysm, but really it's like he's just trapped there with the enemy team and doesn't really have anyone who can follow up instantly. I was saying with this Top Esports composition, you need a poke, you need to apply pressure with the Zoe, with the Jace, you need time, and then you engage. That was not that. That was we rush in and make things happen, and we'll see the replay. So Joe obviously gets picked at the start, nothing to be said there. I think because Shockwave and Dragon Rage and Box gets used, yeah, they're like, okay, well, they've been a lot we can fight. They start to get some poke down from the Jace, but then, you know, they try and look for Photic, the Cataclysm's there, and just gets obliterated, right? Jackie Love is trying to get some damage down, but Rich is just hitting him. And then over the course of the fight, we end up seeing V5 just winning by sheer numbers, okay? That's the advantage they have that allows them to just come out ahead there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was Zhuo who respawned as that last fight was going on. Gotta give props to Photic. Having that, you know, the white guns, just able to kind of put out those chakras constantly and making sure that he's right in melee range. Yeah, he just had the right guns for it. Hell, if he had the red one, it would have been slightly better. But the green one for extra range and having the white just as everyone tries to jump on top of him, very well played and didn't flinch to try and keep himself in relevant and alive. So now bot lane being pressured in. Xiaopeng trying to see if he can get Jackie Love back into the game, because Jackie Love did pick up 3 kills so far this game. Jackie Love is still very relevant and actually has himself about a 500, maybe even 600 gold lead once this tower play goes down.
And I mean, there's some being zone hard. This is why you want the Zoe, right? To apply that pressure. If you don't have vision of the wall, it's so dangerous. And you have to be really careful. And the thing is, V5 know there's not really much they can do about this. So they're just going to try and apply some pressure mid. And I believe we see Zoe, sorry, not Zoe. We see Rookie just threatening some plates there. But Xiaopeng's just going to pick up the dragon. Rich may be able to just finish off this tower. So it's still going to be overall advantage for V5. In fact, Top Esports get the tower, right, and get some plates. I think they can be happy with it.
Yep, Dragon does go over. I will say it will not be a Chem Tech Rift, but it will be a Hex Tech Rift. So we get ourselves some Hex play coming in onto the Rift now. All the tunnels and the turrets going to be used for that. I want to see both these teams use it. It's so much better.
This is my favorite Rift. This is my, honestly, I love Hex Gates, man. They're so fun. They're balanced. There's counterplay. We can counterplay. Knight was about to be on the receiving end of some there if that Sonic Wave connected.
Yeah, there was going to be a bit of a question mark there, but again, because of the Hex Gates, you were able to put down Zhuo back towards his own side of the jungle, give some support over to his mid laner. Jackie Love picking up a lot of free time in this bot side, has turned that 500 gold into 1,000 gold just because of the pressure that Top Esports have put in the bot lane, and V5 just have to respect it. Aw, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry you didn't hit it.
Shame.
It is a shame. But now Zoom gonna be going trading into this top side. I think he's just straight up dead. He's gonna have to try and run away from this one as long as he can, but not gonna commit any of his summoners. Knows that he's gonna go down. That's another kill in the bank for V5, and really good use of their own tempo and pressure.
Yeah, so they know the bot lane tower is going down. They couldn't really defend it. They don't want to contest on that side of the map, so they look to apply some pressure elsewhere. Honestly, Zoom, you should expect that. You shouldn't be there. You know that Jackie Love's on the bot side where your team has the sort of pressure being applied. As a result, it is just going to be a pretty free pickup to sort of balance things out. We have about 1,500 gold lead for V5, and we'll get that replay Not really much to say on this one, but Zoom wanted to push the wave in, very overextended. He saw Rookie then, as soon as he just knows, right? I'm dead. I'm not flashing. It's whatever.
And yeah, that's a good trade-off, though, I think, for Top Esports. They have got Jinx now up onto the rapid-fire, you know, Kraken Slayer. And it's just that one play. One little play changes the entire aspect of this bot lane. It felt... Look at the kills comparatively. It's, you know, 3 kills to PP God, 2 kills there for Felios, and you're still coming out. They're hexing. They hexing.
Bro,
There's not going to be much more. It's like the old Rek'Sai ult, the Void Rush, where it was like you heard it and you're like, oh, and then they realized they were just going to Krugs.
Yeah, but I'm so sad that like we don't have Victor in the game where they finally get the Hex Gate. Oh my god,
he's dead again. There's not. He has flash, and he dodges out on the Q, so not this time around. He's not going to die. Does actually keep himself alive, but when that happens, he has no flash available to him, so he will not have it for this potential Rift Herald fight in a minute's time, or the Dragon in 2.5. Needs to be very careful with how he approaches this next fight.
And V5 have been really proactive and like constantly threatening whenever Zoom has stepped up, whereas like in the bot lane here, she's just honestly chilling. And like Knight really struggles to deal with the Graves in the side lane because you can't burst him well because he has a shield bow, right? It's the anti-burst item, but then you can't also poke him down because he has a shield bow. So he has his one answer just answers everything you have to offer, unless you somehow get enough damage to 100 Azirium through shield bow, which would be pretty nuts. But I've seen nuts things from Zoe. Pastor and Rookie potentially fishing for someone. We'll see how long they want to wait. Maybe Knight ends up walking through, but like he might pass towards mid.
He hasn't got the Demacian standard right now, so he cannot just get away from this. He's going to have to commit the Cataclysm, but he is dead. That is just a really good pick-off from V5, and they're just catching Top Esports in these quote-unquote lazy rotations. Honestly, it just feels like Top Esports are just not respecting the fact that they don't have full vision.
This feels like basic things, right? Just stacking in a brush and wait for someone to walk over. And it feels like Top Esports are consistently falling for it. V5 are just getting picks on picks on picks on picks and building up this lead based on, honestly, disrespecting Top Esports. And this whole time, right, Rich was bot lane. He got chunked out by Zoom. He was like 30, 40% HP. Just walks back and heals up. And it literally means nothing, right? It's just nothing is being punished by Top Esports. But on the reverse, V5 are finding any opportunity.
Okay. Photic was
I didn't
very
stop
close
talking.
to dying.
Nah, I didn't stop talking because I knew he'd get full.
You were too big brain. Too big brain. You knew what was up. You knew what was going to happen. As we have a look now, again, yeah, like you said, this is just a straight-up replay. They don't have any vision at all in this top side. They're even pinging it. They're pinging the idea that there's people here. And Chefpong's like, all right, I'll pop my sweeper. I'll probably catch him out.
Yeah, they can't one-shot me. You know, I can just flag and drag away. Oh, wait, it's on cooldown. Oh, no, I'm dead. Like,
yeah, and just very basic things from Xiaopeng that I felt like he just wasn't respecting. So
imagine,
bit of a disappointment.
Imagine if Jarvan had an ability that could give you vision and brushes that you could use from a distance. You know,
you
like
don't have to use on your camps.
Like a flag you could throw down. You know, maybe just wait for that one next time. That could be the play. But either way, Top Esports now grouping mid. Still apply some pressure, right? Lots of resets are coming in from V5. Just trying to put something down here.
They get this turret as well.
Yeah, I think they do. And the big thing with V5, right? Okay, I guess they back off. They don't want to risk it. But the big thing with V5 is that they, and we get a replay in the bottom right to see.
Oh, PP got died.
Yeah, PP got died, which is why they can apply that pressure. But the thing is, there isn't great engage from V5 to threaten. Now, Top Esports are looking. They will just go for the mid wave, not really able to do much more than that. But getting priority in mid, moving through, controlling the area. Some poke coming out, and that's the big thing. Top Esports, you have poke for days. Use it, lower them down, and then engage.
That's the big thing. The vision is being pushed away, though, by V5, and they've dropped Shelly down into the mid lane. Shelly will be on a solo mission as the Dragon has been started. They've used the collateral damage already, and they're going to jump straight down on top of the carries. But the shockwave is good. These health bars are so low, but they just couldn't finish them off. Everyone from Top Esports, it looked perfect, and they just could not get the damage down. Now Knight in a hell of a lot of trouble as Photic flashes forward. That's the Dragon. That's going to be so much in favor of V5, and Photic is just becoming a god in this game.
V5 just managing to clean up. They know how to do it. They death ball, they just hit them, and it's so easy for them to do. The shockwaves there, there's sustained damage coming out from Photic, Rookie, and Rich. And the thing is, Top Esports, this isn't how your comp functions, right? You need to lay your poke first. If they're full HP, you don't have the damage to finish them off. And we saw that there, right? It initially looked pretty good for Top Esports. And then after a bit, it just started to go on return. So we can see how this play pans out, right? They go on a Rookie. They fire all the skill shots, but this stopwatch blocks so much, right? And then the turnaround starts to come in. Shoot Shockwave, the Cataclysm's there, but everyone's still healthy, right? The Jinx gets deleted. We don't have the resets. We don't have the cleanup. And honestly, I think top esports, you're just rushing into it. You need to lay down the poke first, then engage. If you engage when they're full HP, like if you fire a Jace Shock Blast at them, it's going to chunk them, but, you know, there's so much sustained damage on V5. If you just run into them, you're just going to lose.
How did Karsa not die? Like, the man was on 100 HP. An auto attack from anybody would have killed him. But
he learned it from the Nexus in game one.
He learned it from the thing from earlier in this series. The thing that they can't deal with, that one last auto attack. But massive shockwave from Rookie was ridiculously pivotal as well.
I mean,
it kept
honestly,
Karsa alive and just ridiculous.
I want to say credit to Fote because the shockwave was on rooted targets, right? Like, still, like Rookie, it was a good shockwave. Don't get me wrong, but like. Fotic got that massive root that sort of set Rookie up just to annihilate them. So credit to him. Takes the Aphelios and really is delivering on it, right? We saw on the Jinx, saw a bit of a switcheroo here, but he's just been doing solid work. And you have the picture-in-picture. This is live right now. That
is live right now, but it's going to be a bit of a trade-off as Rookie gets the kill on tonight. It does look like the Graves will be falling down as well. Takes a hell of a long time. And now Votic is here. They trade 2 for 1 on the side of the map. And you can see now V5 are feeling confident that they can push forward and delay some of these backs.
Yeah, it'll just be an even trade in terms of towers, but kill advantage for V5 once again. Now currently looking at 5,000 gold lead. They are feeling real comfortable right now. And I feel like it's going to get harder and harder. We talked about maybe the lack of engage could hit V5, but they are just finding these angles, finding these approaches, and doing really well. We're going to replay. And yeah, I mean, Rich seems to be like overstaying a bit. He does get caught out, but the team move in to support him, right? Lantern's unfortunately not there soon enough, but we do have Fotic Gwenza coming in. And I mean, he is so strong. Oh, dude, Jackie Love, he was excited. He ran into it. Did you see? He was excited. He got too excited. He just ran forwards and tanked the Calibrum. Oh my lord, man. I was actually thinking, I was like, how does Jackie Love die here? Then he just zooms forward. Man.
Little bit of a misplay. Little bit of a misplay. And that's going to be, you know, again, the advantage that Jackie Love had. He is still ahead on gold. He's still ahead on, you know, half items as such. But now, now no longer having that dominant kind of setup that we expect from this Jinx Aphelios lineup. We've seen it twice in this series where V5's Fotic was able to get ahead, able to consistently be an item ahead of the Aphelios. And now with the shoe on the other foot, Jackie Love just can't seem to get the same momentum going. He's still ahead, but just not by as much. Oh my god,
Xiaopeng's fishing. Remember, there is the Thresh there, so it's like, it's not nearly as threatening. And this is the thing, right? You pick Jarvan when Thresh is taken, the dynamic changes. Because normally, if Fotic has no flash, you press R on him and he's stuck. But now, it's like, you always have to consider the Lantern as an easy get-out-of-jail-free card that has such a short cooldown.
Now, a minute until that next Dragon or just over it spawns. We are going to see both teams posturing around this mid lane. Baron is available for either side, and with the teams they have built for themselves, they can both do it very, very quickly. You need to be very careful with how much time and how much lack of information you give yourself when you're looking towards these objectives. A minute now till that Dragon spawns, and that could be big. It could be soul point here for V5, and if you're adding a Hextech soul on top of all, anyone on either side of the team, it's going to be huge for both these teams.
The big thing is, though, top esports are trying to land their poke, right? But we have a Bloodthirster on Fotic, Bloodthirster and Shieldbow on Rich. So if you're hitting them, it does basically nothing, right? They just heal back up on the wave. It's becoming very difficult, but they're looking for Fotic.
Whoa! Zhuo goes straight in, has to go golden, but he's by himself. I don't think they're going to be able to defend him. He's going to have to use the dredge line defensively and dies. There's a shockwave to bring back Xiaopeng as Rookie just takes him out in an effective 1v1. You've lost your support, your jungle, all of your vision control, and now the Baron is looking mighty tasty.
You feel the desperation coming in, and honestly, the poke isn't working. They're healing up from it. They felt forced to engage, but it just doesn't work, right? This is prime Aphelios. We've talked about how Aphelios is having to dive in a little bit, be more aggressive, but if they're just going to run into you, it's just standard red and white easy play style, and Fotic very comfortable.
Yeah. Ooh, oh my god. Okay, that was a little bit closer than they probably wanted to, and he even misses the smite as well, just for good measure.
Is Jackie able to get this dragon? How low is it?
I'm not quite sure. We're going to pan down and check it out. I don't think he's going to be able to get it. Jackie Love, he tried to do it. The flash in by Rookie as he takes the solo bolo and takes the kill credit for the dragon. Thank you very much. That's sold. That's